Hello everybody and welcome to League Judges TV. Now, we've had a bit of a nightmare today. We were supposed to be in the cab today. Stuart let us down because he's got a job on, so he couldn't get here. We've then gone outside. Right, we've gone outside to film in a lovely little surrounded area just up by the river there, and it started raining. That would be unbelievable. Of course, Chelsea goes to Crystal Palace.
He was like, "Where's the defending?" He went like,
2 seconds. Camera's gone off.
Oh.
And we've now come inside. Sophie's not happy because she got her hair wet, like, you know. And
well, no, I'm telling you now. I said to them, film outside. It's a bit cold, isn't it? Don't think that's the best idea. No, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. So we just went outside for 35 minutes and got soaked for no reason, really.
Yeah, so you worried about. I didn't have to worry about my hair getting wet, obviously, like, you know. But you've
got a nice hat on though.
Thank you very much. But you've had the hump.
Is that because it's cold, or is that just because you don't like being bold?
It's because it's cold.
Oh, okay.
Right, you know, nothing to do with the baldness.
Oh, okay. No.
You know.
Are you bald by choice, by the way?
Yes.
You are. So you could grow hair if you wanted to.
Not a lot of it. But
No, okay, so you couldn't, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, at least you're smiling now, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so that's good.
Just checking everyone.
So, listen, we're going to talk football.
Yeah, let's play.
We've had a week which has been a good week.
A good week
for Arsenal and for Chelsea.
Overall.
Let's talk about Chelsea. Congratulations.
Thank you. Another
World
trophy.
champions.
Do you know what though, Lee? And like I said to you earlier, I wasn't buzzing about the Club World Cup. I haven't followed that competition for years, but it is a very hard competition to get into. You only get into it if you win the Champions League, and that's hard enough in itself. And I just think every competition you go into, I think until you're in it, you don't really get what a big deal it is. Like the Europa League, I never used to watch that. And now I find it really entertaining because we were there in the final, we won it, and now I think it's a really important competition. So another trophy for Tuchel, which is what he's just doing a fantastic job. He's probably going to go down as one of the best managers in Chelsea history. So yeah.
Yeah, I have to say that, you know, to get into that competition, you've got to win the Champions League. So
yeah, it's hard.
It's a fantastic achievement. So congratulations. While you was over there sunning it and winning trophies, the Premier League was going on over here. We was obviously meant to play Chelsea at the weekend, but we had a weekend off. But we did play on the Thursday, beating Wolves 1-0 at Molineux. On a very, very cold night it was, but we got the job done.
Robbie said he was freezing up there.
So it was absolutely, really, really cold. I think they was up there for 2 days, and it was, it was colder than what I thought it was going to be. But we got the result done with a ridiculous sending off. But 10 men got the job done. Won. What was even more important from Arsenal's point of view to get that result was that Manchester United and Tottenham earlier on in the week lost and drew, and Tottenham, of course, went on to play Wolves on Sunday, and got beaten again. So that, I think, showed that performance for Arsenal against Wolves was really good. But ultimately, it's been a good week for Arsenal and for Chelsea because in my opinion, it's between Liverpool and Man City for the title.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But Chelsea don't want to be looking behind their shoulder at Arsenal or Spurs coming through or Manchester United.
We don't need to worry about Spurs, babes. Let's just calm down.
You know,
come on, let's talk about them. Let's give a good.
Well, I have to say, outplayed by Southampton. I've got to say that I was very, very impressed with Southampton. To be honest, I was very impressed with Southampton against Manchester United as well. And I'm going to say this now. If it weren't for a dodgy VAR decision, I think Brighton might have got something from Old Trafford this week as well, because I thought Brighton played really, really well at Old Trafford. But Southampton, I think, deserves to beat Spurs, and they did. And then, of course, Wolves done it on 2 soak-filled rainy days at White Hart Lane. Not only did they lose both games, Spurs, all their fans got soaking wet on both occasions.
I know, it was so hilarious. Do you know what, though? I have to say, if anybody's seen Expressions, please send him my love, because he doesn't respond to me anymore. I think he's very upset with the way his team have been playing. And you know what? I think there was a stat out there that Conte hasn't lost 3 games in his career in God knows how many years. Or maybe it was the first time ever, I can't remember, but it had been a substantial amount of time anyway, 3 games in a row. So that's the Spurs, if that's what Spurs have done to him already in such a short time.
Exactly. And they have Manchester City away on Saturday.
What's your prediction for that?
Well, I predict a Manchester City win, and that would mean 4 consecutive defeats on the trot if Manchester City get that result against Spurs, which you would, in theory, expect City to win that game.
Well, I think they're going to win it purely because Spurs are on such a bad run. I don't think you can be on a bad run up until you play Man City, because I think that just means that you're going to get absolutely hammered. 3-4-0.
One thing in Spurs' favour, they haven't got a bad record against Man City.
Maybe. Okay, again. So, but I don't know. I think for Conte, he's realising what he's sort of probably got himself into.
If you're a betting woman, top 4, who's your favourites at this moment in time?
So Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. And to be honest, the fourth one really is up for grabs. And I think it will go all the way more or less towards the end of the season for that one.
So you're not really saying like anybody at this moment in time. I'm like you. I think that Man United, Arsenal, West Ham, Tottenham, and Wolves have got to come into this occasion as well.
I think it'd probably be Arsenal. You're in with a good chance if you keep up your form. Even because you guys don't even need to win games by 3-0. You can, like you said, you can scrape the odd 1-0 here and there with an okay performance. So
defensively, we're quite sound.
I don't think Man United are going to be into it, to be honest.
Really?
No, because I think they've got all sorts of issues there, and I think they won against Brighton, and that's great, but I don't know if they'll be able to keep it up till the end of the season. I mean, it still is February; it's still quite a long way to go. So I don't really see them in it. West Ham again, I would have said yes, but I think, do you know what? I think all this situation with Zuma, which we'll come to in a minute, I think really has put a little bit of a negative energy around the club and.
Well, yeah, I think let's talk about that, because I think like West Ham have done fantastically well with David Moyes and everything like that, and no one's really questioned David Moyes' managerial.
Oh, I have.
Things. No, up until this
100%.
I think, in my opinion, I think they've handled this all wrong. I think it was terrible what's happened.
That's very polite.
No problems.
Polite way of saying
worries.
things.
I don't, and I think Kurt Zuma should have been just taken out of that game that he played in last week. He shouldn't have played in that game against Watford, wasn't it? They won 1-0. And I just think it morally wasn't the right decision to do. I think that they should. But what they looked at was no, we don't care what's gone on. It's more important that West Ham win a game of football. And I think it's not gone down too well with everything. What's your take on it?
Oh, I will happily say what my take is. That was very polite. That was a very polite and tame way of saying it. I think it was absolutely fucking insane for them to ever play him the same day he got caught abusing an animal. I think David Moyes has shown there that he does not give a flying F what any of his players do. They are allowed to go back on the pitch that same day. And that's the message it sends out. And everybody was saying, keep that same energy when it comes to racism, blah, blah, blah. And I agree. I don't know why we're comparing. They're all as bad. But the bigger picture is you're saying whether it's racism, whether it is hurting an animal, whether it's hurting another person, you are going to play your athlete in the same day. So you're basically saying to all those players, you can do whatever you want and I'm still going to play you. And actually, that's why Vitality pulled out of their sponsorship. They're saying, why don't sponsorships get pulled out for other things? Because David played him in that same day. David Moyes basically said, what you've done is completely fine and I'm going to play you. I know he said it's diabolical. He doesn't think it's diabolical, because if you really think something's diabolical, you wouldn't do that. I think if it was Mourinho, for instance, who cares about animals, very upset about his dog, I don't think he would have played that day. So I just think what he's done is disgusting. I don't believe in words, I believe in actions, and the actions around the whole thing were just disgusting from start to beginning.
Can I ask you, as a neutral going into the top 4 race, Man United, West Ham, Arsenal, Tottenham and Wolves.
Yeah.
Would that now, with what's happened with West Ham, what they've done, has that put you off hoping that they don't get that now?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it, with these sorts of things. I just hope Chelsea do well. I don't really focus on the rest of it. I think West Ham have got some great players. I love Declan Rice. And that's sort of the whole point of this. You can't blame everybody for one person's actions. But when you do what David Moyes did and put him back in the side straight away, it just gives that has just surrounded the club with a negative energy and perception, basically. I think a lot of people, even Graham Souness was going on about it. It was basically they're like, what the hell has he done there? I don't understand it.
I have to say, I see Nicky today, of West Ham TV, and he was saying the same, that disappointed, he's an animal lover, disappointed in the club, and the take they've done on it. And I think there has, there's a lot of West Ham fans that weren't happy with the situation as well. Let's be honest, it's not just
but when it comes to animals and children, the big thing about it is it's not just a cat, it's not just a whatever. You're harming something that you know is defenseless, that will never ever have a voice, can never tell you how they feel, can never ever get help, and that basically shows the sort of person you are. If you're willing to hurt an animal, there ain't much else you're not willing to do. Trust me.
And the other thing is that his brother, who plays for Dagenham Rubbish, they did ban him.
Of course, because they can down that lower league, and that's what I think. I think this whole thing is basically just the manager. I've lost all respect for David Moyes. I think he's a total idiot. That's being polite. And I have no time to discuss it any further. I think people can make mistakes, and I think you absolutely should. Nobody can be perfect. But the fact, like Graham said, that they put it on social media, they think it's funny. They've obviously done it a million times before. They think.
Well,
it's
yeah,
funny.
that was the thing that why.
That's how delusional you've got to be. We just had this conversation, didn't we, in the last All Aboard about all this sort of stuff. And we were like, how much more can they do before they realise that's just not how it is? And what David Moyes just done there has basically said they can do whatever they want. We've gone back a major step.
Yeah, I agree, and
football.
I think it will come down and bite West Ham, because I think there is a little bit, as you quite rightly said, a little bit of negativity around the club now. I think that the neutrals are not really into football now. We'll go, oh yeah, we like West Ham because of this and this and that. Now we'll be going off them a little bit, like, and understandably so. So there's a lot of work to do there from West Ham's point of view. And of course, then Kurt Zuma didn't even play the next game because he wasn't well. So
that's what they say. We don't know really.
Well, he was warming up on the pitch, so it looked like he was going to be playing, but
and then wasn't. I mean, do you know what? It depends what sort of. I believe in energies and stuff. So I think if something bad happens, generally you attract a lot of negative energy, and that's what people say, isn't it? So I think. They've had a really good season so far. I don't think that decision from David Moyes went in their favour at all. I think it brought a lot of unnecessary negativity around the entire club itself, when really it's just one individual to blame. And I just don't think that was the right decision. I think he knows it isn't the right decision. He's being selfish and thinking, but we really need to win these games. And I actually think if he hadn't have played, they probably would have.
I honestly think if they would have not played him and won, I think they'd have come out with a little bit of credit.
100%, of course, yeah, because it's not everybody's fault. But I mean, do you know what? Some things, like we say, that have happened recently have been so serious, they should never be ignored, and that's what David Moyes did. So let's just leave it there.
Yeah, we'll go from there. Like, it's a big weekend of football. Crystal Palace Chelsea go to Crystal Palace.
We're away at
difficult
Palace.
game. That's a difficult game. I think Palace.
I don't know. We've had some weird games down there before. I'm confident we can go into it. We're on a high, obviously, after winning the trophy. We've got Mendy back in goal, which is always a plus.
Mind you, the goalkeeper's done all right for you.
Kepa's been,
Kepa. Let's call him Kepa. Yeah.
Kepa's been brilliant. Kepa is a great number 2. He is fantastic at penalties. He offers a lot more than what he did under Frank Lampard. I think what getting himself dropped has really improved him as a player, and I think under Tuchel he's really improved as a player. He's more authoritative. He's telling the back four what to do, things like that, which we never ever saw in the beginning, which is what we always saw from Mendy from day one when he came in.
So Mendy comes straight back for you, though?
Mendy comes straight back. Yeah, I mean he's just a fantastic goalkeeper.
And the other good thing you got for you was not what any other team's got is that Conor Gallagher cannot play.
Oh, is that a thing? I didn't know that.
Because he's like on loan, so he can't play for his parent club. So,
which is good because he's one of their best players. If not the best.
I think so. I think he's one of the best players in midfield in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
Chelsea.
I think we'll probably want him back.
Worming their way to victories again, like as they do. Using their muscle.
Well, I think with Palace, number one, we have got Mendy back, and I think Lukaku just scored 2 goals in both of our games in the Club World Cup. So he seems to have actually finally started putting balls.
I'll tell you what, we're going to do a show in this towards the end of the season. Is Lukaku been a hit or a miss?
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
Because I'm on the fence of this one.
I like to wait till the end of the season for those.
Yeah,
things,
we will do. Arsenal, Brentford, Arsenal, big game for Arsenal to try and get into that top 4. We're at home. We've got 2 home games now against Brentford and Wolves. Big week for Arsenal. Must get 6 points in those 2 games.
What are you feeling about Arteta at the minute? I just want to ask you that because I know you weren't a fan. Then
I'm still not convinced, but
I'm
unbelievably had it coming out of the Wolves game. Yeah. We bumped into him.
Did you?
Me and my mate Steve. Yeah, we just was there when the coaches were coming out, and he went round having a photo with everybody and having a few words with everybody. Did he have a photo with you? No, I didn't have a photo with him, but I did have a chat with him. I said to him, "Well done, great result." He said, "Thank you." And I have to say, he had a photo with everybody there, spoke to everybody. Took about 10, 15, he must have been there for about 10 minutes doing it all that, and I thought that was very, very good. I thought a bit classy, very classy of the man.
Yeah.
As a manager, I'm still not convinced. I think he has to win the next 4 games.
Yeah.
You
want to see some. You just want to see some consistency.
I want to see some consistency. I want to see some good. I want to see some play now. Where I look at Arsenal and think, right, you've had 3 weeks off where with the winter break plus because of FA Cup and not being able to play Chelsea and things like that. I want to see some proper coach teams when that comes out there. I want to see them. If we can't break down Brentford, I've seen us look like we've been coached, and there's a way of us beating there. So I'm very, very looking forward to this Brentford game in more ways than one.
Yeah, Brentford are a fun team to play.
Well,
Since
they weren't
they've
for
come
us
up,
at the beginning of the
they've
season. Don't
not
forget,
been bad.
we played at the beginning of the season, first game of the
I know,
season,
that's
and
what I'm
lost.
saying, they're a fun team.
So it's going to be a difficult game. So London derby. So we shall see.
Got a
Manchester
London
City
derby for
versus
ourselves
Spurs
as well.
is going to be an interesting
Do you know what?
one.
And we'll end it on this bit. The funny thing here is that Expressions is shitting himself basically because he knows they've just had a really good result against Sporting, isn't it? In the Champions League.
Cruise 5-0 in the Champions League away from home. That's incredible.
Yeah, and then they've got to go to Man City. I know you said Spurs have got a good record against City, but I do think it's going to be a bad day at the office for Antonio Conte.
So what we're saying is...
I'm going 3-4-0 to City.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
I won't go as far as that, but what we're saying is Chelsea away win, Arsenal home win, Man City...
I think we'll win based on the fact that we're on a high. I don't know if it'll be the prettiest win, but like you said, Conor Gallagher's out, which is a major advantage for us. So I'm going to just go for a 2-0 Chelsea win. What are you going for?
I'll go 2-1 Chelsea.
Okay, Man City Spurs?
I reckon 2-1.
Really?
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot tighter
you know how
than
shit
what
they
it
are
is.
at the minute.
Yeah, but as I say, they've always done okay up there, And I tell you what, City always miss chance after chance against Tottenham, like they did in, So I don't think it'd be an easy
I
game.
want Conte. We need to get Conte on all aboard. Put him in the taxi. Send him back to the airport.
Go back to Inter.
Yeah, so we can have a nice
Back to Inter
life
for
as
the
a manager.
Winter.
I like it.
I like that. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. So I think Arsenal win 2-0, and hopefully we'll have a good weekend.
Yeah.
The pair of us, and
I hope
we'll
so.
see how it goes from there. Listen, that's it. Football talk over for this week. Now, listen, we've got
Part 2 coming up.
part 2 coming up. We've also got a little competition between Arsenal and Spurs. Change that again. We've got a little competition. I don't know, between Arsenal and Chelsea. We're going to go to Oxford Street.
We are.
And we're going to be on the streets asking a few questions. So if you see us in Oxford Street, come and say hello and get involved, because we're going to be doing something which is going to involve...
It'll be a really good video.
We'll announce the date and everybody can...
We'll announce the date when that's going to be. We'll let you know when we're down there, and we're going to be on the streets talking to just passers-by, and it will be a competition between Arsenal and Chelsea.
I'm going to
Come
win.
on, you Gunners.
Shut up.
Right, sorry about that.
I always end it with shut up, Lee.
All right, there you go. Like that. Listen, thanks for listening to us. Part 2 is going to be on Sophie's channel. Have a great day. Enjoy the weekend. Come on, you Gunners. Go on, Chelsea.
Come on, you Blues.
I'm not going to say
Am I allowed
that.
to say that?
Yeah, I'm never going to say that. So.
Come on, we'll be fine.
And come on, you Sky Blues. Manchester City.